You are Locked On Coogs, your daily podcast on the Houston Cougars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Park Rangers Locked On Coogs here. We're talking about the Houston women's program kind of putting a roster together now. They've had 6 total commits in the transfer portal this spring, 3 in the last 4 days. And so I want to make sure we talk some about what's coming together. Now they have players to put on the floor. In the last 3 days, they've added Amani Bartlett, Shun'teria Anumele, and Kyndall Hunter. And they've also got 3 from before, but I want to talk about these 3 and then the whole group of 6, and then kind of what we're seeing out of the 3. So Amani Bartlett is a 6'3" LSU grad transfer. She was a high-end recruit out of high school, went to Houston Christian in the Houston area. Obviously, Houston Christian was a high-end SBC school. She was there. She was the conference MVP, and they won a couple titles while she was there. Extremely defensive-minded, 6'3", forward/center, rotational player as a sophomore and junior at LSU, won a national championship in that sophomore season while she was there. So brings championship pedigree, SEC play, coming back home, all the good stuff there. Shun'teria Anumele is a 5'8" sophomore from the University of St. Louis, but she went to Legacy Sports and Sciences High School. Rotational guard, defensive-minded again, lots of steals, great quickness. Still working on the offense side of her game, but she can lock it down on defense. Kyndall Hunter is a 5'7" guard out of Cy Creek, I believe. Went to Texas initially in Texas A&M. She was McDonald All-American in high school. She was a big, big deal in the Houston area in high school basketball. I believe after all of the red shirts, she still has 2 years of eligibility, even after going to Texas and Texas A&M. She had a medical 1 year and an outright red shirt the other. So I think she's actually still got 2 full years of eligibility left if she wants to take it at Houston. And that's the trio that's been signed in the last 4 days. Big gets, though, with SEC high-end talent coming in. I appreciate how defensive-minded all 3 of these signings were. They joined TK Pitts, a 6'1" guard who's originally from Lubbock, but went to high school in Tulsa. She played at SMU. 2.3 steals per game at 6'1". Pretty impressive for a big guard. Then Brianna Peguero is a 5'7" guard from Troy, originally Mercer before that, but she's from Jersey Village. Good scorer, 35% from 3. Does a little bit of a lot of things pretty well. Kind of the jack of all trade, master of none. She's just really good at a bunch of stuff. Looking to expand her game, get some more clock with Mitchell. I get where that's coming from. I also think, though, that 35% from 3 is going to be important as you're building this roster out. And then Amir Abdur-Rahim, as a guy that liked watching Sharif Abdur-Rahim in the NBA is fun because she's one of his many younger siblings. Originally from Marietta, Georgia. Eligibility from her knee injury at SMU. She started off, let me get the order right here, Notre Dame and then SMU and then Texas A&M. Again, she had a knee injury in her time at SMU, and so then she gets the extra year of eligibility. She's using it at the University of Houston. Great interior scorer and rebounder, big presence again at 6'3". Multiple siblings that have played high-level Division I basketball. Her oldest, or I think Sharif is the oldest brother, was a Vancouver Grizzly a long time ago. And so you've got this roster kind of forming and coming together for head coach Mitchell. And I think that I'm tripping my words because I think about which one of these things has me most excited. On the one hand, 4 of these 6 are from Houston, and they've got ties to the city of Houston, and they're coming back to represent the city. And that tells me that Mitchell gets it. He gets the idea of having the best talent stay home and what that could mean for the program. The other part of me is excited because he's got a handful of women that have, 3 of these 6 have SEC experience, right? Big time basketball experience. And obviously Mitchell coming from the SEC himself, 2-time SEC Coach of the Year in his time at Kentucky. it indicates he's got a pretty good understanding of what that basketball looks like. He wants to bring women in that have that same kind of mentality and understand what that high level of basketball looks like to Houston as Houston continues to get used to Big 12 basketball. I think that's really, really important as well. I like that they peeled a couple that have SMU in their background. I like that, they pulled women that have seen a bunch of different styles of basketball and transferred from a bunch of different programs and coaches and so on. Yes, the skeptic will say, well, Parker, how many of these women really started? It's probably like 2 that started consistently. How much game minutes are you looking at? Some played 14 and 15, some played closer to 20, some played less than that. I get those critiques of this. I will say that when you look at what the roster was, when you look at what Mitchell was brought in to work with, the rebuild of the program is starting from a pretty strong place here, right? And frankly, we know, obviously, the start is not the point of the rebuild. We saw on the men's side of things when Kelvin Sampson came in, right? He, frankly, was pulling in every transfer that could dribble and walk at the same time he could. He was rebuilding a program in a very different kind of way, where he was just trying to get people that were going to buy into his culture. He was more in on the type of player than the accolades the player had beforehand. Not that I mean he didn't get players that had high accolades beforehand in the earliest days of the rebuild, but that was kind of his fit, and it worked, and it worked, and it worked. Right now, it feels like this program was like, hey, we're just going to find a bunch of talent, and this is the year one of what's going to be a big, long process. We just got to start somewhere, right? And I wonder if that's indicative when comparing the two of the time, right? The transfer portal is something that we have now that we did not have in the same way back when Kelvin Sampson got here. Same thing for NIL and all of that. And I wonder, how much of this shapes up. I will say lots of these women, if you look at their analytical numbers of that, play great defense. I think that if you watch the way Mitchell's teams at Kentucky played, that seems to be an important thing. The offensive players he has coming in seem to be guards. Also seems to be a way that this team feels similar to the ideas of what he was trying to put together at Kentucky. And so I'm excited about it. And I am mostly excited about it because I want to stress how much fun it would be to have 2 fantastic basketball programs happening at the same time in the same season of the year, in the same gym, in the same sport. I don't think there's a whole lot of other. I mean, even baseball and softball are functionally a little different, right? Track is a little similar. If you're a school that has boys and girls with volleyball, I guess that's similar. It just feels different when they're men and women playing the same sport, and you're good at both, dominant at both. That's a lot of fun for a campus. I really want that, and I really want to watch that. I think Mitchell's doing a great job of building towards that. We know the basketball's got a level of excellence they got to uphold as well. And so I'm excited about this one. I hope you are too. I'm excited about these 6 women joining the program. More as more join. But we mentioned baseball, softball being similar. They had very different weekends. So let's jump into it. But first, today's show is brought to you by our buddies over at Monarch Money. If you ever check your bank account and wonder where did all my money go, okay, that might happen to me every now and then. Anyway, between dining out, online shopping, Mother's Day is coming up, entertainment, it's easy to lose track of all that. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's your personal CFO, giving you full visibility to take control over your finances. And Monarch Money is not just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. Track all your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place. Again, teacher, coach, podcaster, all the accounts, one place, one single spot. I love how easy the app is, the interface, the dashboard, it's all right there. One spot for you. Take control over your finances. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. It's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONCollege for half off your first full year.